coincided the peace of peace and friendship.
That was a corporate agreement from the crown to the CEO of the Almorak.
Okay.
It wasn't no Morocco. It was no country called Morocco.
I realized that. So, we're told that there was something over here that deeded or gave them, ceded them some kind of a use to do commerce on the land. But we do know that Morocco, as we know it today, didn't become a whatever country, state, or whatever until what 19 in the 1900s, right?
You ever
19,
hear Malcolm X say, "We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us"?
absolutely have.
Do you remember hearing about a ship that came from Europe called the Plymouth?
That I did not.
Okay, look it up. It's a ship. Well, the ship ran into a sandbar in the bay near DC. DC 10 square miles is what you call ground zero of the crash site.
No.
So this is what you call a collateral attack in law. So while they using the Babylonian blood magic to write the Constitution in the blood of Crispus Attucus, they take us to international court. When they take us to international court, they said that our landmass crashed into their ship, and it would take 200 years to dispensate the dispute. And during that time, they needed a charter to perform business over here.
So allegedly, they couldn't go. They couldn't get back because their ship was
We crashed
grounded.
our landmass into their ship.
Their ship didn't crash into our landmass. Our landmass crashed into their ship. It moved
That's
out.
their claim.
I'll be damned. So
So when they make that claim and take us to international court, it automatically puts us under what they call admiralty jurisdiction in law. Right? Admiralty jurisdiction is the Uniform Commercial Code law of nations. Nations are corporations. Tribal lands are not a nation, they are a country.
right.
We don't have cities, we have towns. We don't have counties, we have parishes. We don't have states, we have territories. But they did what they call, the CIA still do it to this day, it's called creating a cutout. The cutout is the lines of demarcation that break the land up into what they call manageable regions. And each manageable region is assigned a corporate charter. We call it the charter of the state. Right? Now, they overlaid their corporate jurisdiction on top of us without never telling us what they was doing. That's why I know what Drew Ali said, you have to learn how to run a government. Because if you don't know how to run a government, you'll never know what they done. Right? So now when I'm looking from genetic memory, I'm seeing how the shit's supposed to be, and I'm seeing how it is. So now I got to figure a way out to tell all of my people, this ain't us. This has nothing to do with us.
So even what's going on now, everybody's talking, just Sarah and the Sarah. They're talking things are happening. The government, the republic is being restored. These folks have been taken away and put in under arrest for crimes against humanity. Yet we still continue to see faces and we still continue to get mandates and all kinds of different things that are coming down. Just so are you saying that it's a show? It's happening.
It's absolutely 100% a shit show. It's not even a good show. But I've been eating my popcorn watching it play out because what they doing is the more of us that become aware, the more they lose in their narrative in a CIA, KGB, MI5 controlled media conglomerates across the world. See, that's their last stronghold is media.
But isn't it true now that I look back at it, brother Rod, what I got was that entertainment as we've come to know it, and so-called enjoy it, was never for our good, and it was always for our control. Because I could think back to when you see the accounts of the radio with War of the Worlds, and they were testing to see how people would take the news of some kind of space invasion and folks was killing themselves and all that. But when you look back at the old movie reels and stuff, you'll see that media and military were hand in hand way back there. Most of the films that were being produced had an agenda behind them. I mean, I'm sure it has expanded over the years to some, sideline folks who think it's a real deal, but it's at its core, at its root, it seems as though it's always been a form of mind control and indoctrination. Yes.
That's 100%. Okay, so media means what? In the middle, don't it?
Yeah.
Who is it in the middle of? The have and the have-nots. Who owns it? The haves. And who are they trying to push their agenda on? The have-nots.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So while they trying to push their agenda on us, they using their agenda to keep us deluded into believing the narrative that they painted that we came on slave ships.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Then you got this whole, what is it? What is the agenda? The Pan African agenda. I remember talking to someone from Africa a few years ago who actually said that that you all came from here wasn't true. But I said, you know what? But it's good for the economy, right? And he said, absolutely. So you got so many people that have been going, to Ghana and going to, Nigeria and different places like that. And they said, oh, they welcomed us. They're washing clothes and hanging them up and said, we've been washing your clothes for you, waiting for you to come back. I said, my goodness, it's a marketing campaign to get us to, fall for or believe that that's where we came from.
That's why they had the Liberian movement, the Back to Africa movement.
Right. So we didn't come from there to here, but they took some of us or sent some of us from here to there.
Right. And where did they bring them from over here from? What part of the land did those people in Liberia come from over here?
I don't know.
The Lone Star State.
Texas.
That's why they only have one star on Liberia.
Ah.
So the ones that fell for the lie, like a lot of us over here believe they sold out. They didn't sell out. They actually believe that narrative that the Dirty Moors gave them, that they came on slave ships and that they was actually going back home. But they didn't find out until they was well settled over there that they wasn't from over there.
Y'all missed it. I ain't missed shit. They warned y'all that I was coming because they made movies called The Planet of the Apes. So now let me explain it to you. The monkey mind that they call us apes for never loses sight of the serpent. So, I live my life on grimy streets struggling for life, weeding through snake bitches in search of a wife. The whole thing is keep your eye on the serpent. There's two. There's the serpent of wisdom and there's the serpent of deception. The monkey mind, once he locates a serpent, it cannot detach from the serpent. As long as the serpent is anywhere in the vicinity, the monkey mind can't take his mind off of it. So, I'm going to break this gang shit down before Crumb say the wrong shit. But I'm going to break it down in a different level. Because we not gang bangers as they called us. We are nations. We tribal motherfuckers. We was here before they came. We gonna be here when they leave. Understand what I'm telling you. My Vice Lords, my Blackstones, my Titanic Stones, my GDs, my BDs, my BGs. Yep. My Latin kings, my Latin counts, my satin disciples, my devil disciples. All of these motherfuckers, all of them, done bumped me in. They sent motherfuckers from far and wide to confirm if they was gonna let me motherfucking swing the bat, and they gave it to the wrong nigga because I'm gonna knock a home run. Now, Brother Crumb, this is a direct message so you understand how this shit work. You brought up the symbols. You brought up the Vice Lord tree. That's what I call my motherland. And I'm going to tell you why I call it my motherland. Before there was ever a gang, before they ever came out with an idea of gang banging, my mama was a vice lord on a motorcycle in the 50s. But you don't know what a vice lord is. You don't know what a top hat and a cane really is if you don't know who the Baron is. Me, Baron LaCroix, Baron Samadi. This is African motherfucking conjure in your goddamn face, live, 3D, and personified. This is not a fucking game. The Baron of the Crossroad, the worst motherfucker that they ever want to bring back, they have to appease him. They have to appease him at every step of the way so he don't turn into the terror of the ages once again. So they want him to address the fucking grievances. You know where you go to the crossroad to sell your soul? The Baron is the collector of the debts. Somebody owe me and my motherfucking people a whole lot of shit. So let me run it down to you, Crumb. Off the motherland, the Vice Lord, the Top Hat, the Shelter. It is under the house of Baron LaCroix. The cane, that's the shepherd's staff. Understand me, because the good shepherd always return his sheep to the fold. And so you got the cane, which is the same as the crook on the Pharaoh's chest. Crumb, since you want to get into this shit and you don't want to acknowledge that I'm fucking here, I'm going to break this shit down where it's undisputable facts. What Malachi called the Aratib, unshakable shit. Now, my mother is the original queen of queens of vice lords. She didn't get that title because she was pretty, though she was gorgeous. She didn't get that title because she was the smartest motherfucker out there, but she was the wisest. She got that shit at the Battle of the Fists. You see, when she was collecting her motherfucking studs, see, you had a leather jacket that you got when you came in and it was just blank. And every time you won, they put a stud on the back of your jacket. My mama jacket had more studs than anybody else because she whooped more ass than anybody else. She was the queen of the vice lords. Understand what I'm telling you, Crumb? Now, the Vice Lords is the 5-point affiliation with the Black Peace Stone Nation, but we ain't got to there yet. Because first I got to tell you about my pops, who was forked. Any GD know what the fork is? Need I say more? But for you who don't know, that means that my father was the king of the G's in absentia. So Larry ran interference, the same as David Barksdale, because something happened. Something happened where in the process, Fork flipped the queen of the lords. Unheard of. So she said he got more nerve than a brass-ass monkey. And when he realized he flipped the queen and she was everything that they said she was, he said she was more rare than a red-head left-hand monkey. Now, when you put them two together, you get me. A motherfucker more rare than a red-head left-hand brass-ass monkey with the balls to match. Now, when that flip, when Fork flipped Big Red, as they called her back then, the game changed. Now, we need a whole nother avenue to get us out of this shit. Because if the system find out COINTELPRO is active, that's what y'all don't understand. The wisdom of the ancestors is to undermine the bullshit until it's time to overthrow the imposters. The time has come. They've been notified. They've been put on alert. Drug out in the open. Motherfuckers know who they are. So let me tell you what happened, Crump. Since you want to know what the literature means, I'm going to tie it together from Bloods to Crips, from MS-13 to Latin Kings and Latin Nations. And when I get done putting this shit together, I'm going to try to make it as sweet and swift as possible. But if I'm sitting here looking at all you dumb motherfuckers doing the same thing, not getting no motherfucking progress. The same shit Malcolm said about the train leaving Chicago to New York in '63 applies today. The fucking train moved, but in relation to the goddamn engine, you still the goddamn caboose. What the fuck is your problem? Now, you mentioned Larry Hoover. Larry Hoover is what you call a statesman, but you called him a politician. That's fine. I didn't find that offensive because the system that produces politicians mirrors the system that generates a statesman. Larry Hoover was the statesman, and he still is the statesman, and he's going to be the statesman. Now, the Black Pea Stone Nation, for those out of the shot that know what I'm talking about, that's right, we in the circle. For those in the Black Pea Stone Nation, those out of the shot gonna know what I'm talking about. You see, everything is hidden in plain sight. So, for y'all who don't know, I done flipped the queens of the Black Pea Stone Nation. Yep. I'm the baddest motherfucker ever born. I know where all the queens at. I know where all the kings at. And I know how to bring us all together. So I'm going to tell you how I got here. I flipped off the motherland to the fatherland. They stuck me in the two-ball cane. The two-ball cane blackballed me and slipped me back to the four-corner shuffle. That's where you get your four-corner hustler. Solido. So I had to be blessed in by a motherfucking foe, which was Kyrie, which was my bunkie in 91. Now, in 93. Now, Kyrie told me I ain't never seen a G that I respect like I do you. Understand what I'm telling you? So then, to make this shit legit, I got to meet one of the king of the lords. So then the 4-star elite, little J, flipped me over to Willie Lord. Willie Lord, he folks, but he the one. Division 1, A1. He had just got out. They had just had a shootout on the Dan Ryan coming off the west side. And they arrested him on the gun case, flipped him back in. He was an ABO downstairs, Division 1. I was on A1. Now, when he flipped me to Willie Lord gave me the stamp of approval of the Vice Lord Nation. See? But I wasn't done. You see? Because the Cobra Strongs had to accept me. But I had a bunkie name that we used to call MC. As a matter of fact, I had 2 of them that blessed me as the one. See, then the Black Soul sent somebody. And we called him Soul. Division 1, A1. He said, yeah, we'll take that one right there. So then I had to be accepted by the BDs, by the BGs. They said, all right, he the one. I was already a GD. So now there's other nations I got to infiltrate. So while all this is going on, I'm studying my nation doctrine. But then my brother flipped me to Ansars. So now I'm on Malachi land. You understand what I'm saying? So this 5% shit starting to saturate. As I start to digest Kenneth 13 next, aka Pudding, Father God Allah in the flesh walked around and showed them motherfuckers shit of who we were and who we are. See? So then they get Jeff and they flip him into the system as a little kid and they flip him back out. He's a little bit wiser. See, he done went in and he done got something for me. So, off the 4 line, we flipped to the P's, the P stones, the 21 brick pyramid. But then Larry got flipped to the 6. So now you got a 20 brick pyramid. That's why they say 20 more. But remember that the stone the builder rejected became the chief cornerstone. So when you flip the 1 off the motherfucking 5 over to the 6, you understand me? So that's how the fork end up with the motherfucking 6. The baby G, the BG, that's me, who grow up to be the motherfucking king of kings, the crown prince. I'ma set this shit straight. So now, only thing we got to do, understand me, is get these Crips and Bloods on the line. Yep. So I come through. I got blessed in by the Crip. I just called him Crip. But if you go through my records, you'll see that we came in, we got arrested in Chicago together. He came in on the extradition because he was a hitter. I came in on the case. Now, as the time rolled